Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. So I'm sitting here at the point of life where I'm getting invited to a lot of weddings, which is great, right? I'd rather be invited to weddings than funerals. I've even had the chance, as I've mentioned here on Morning News before, to officiate at a couple. Totally fun. I love being an ordained minister in the Universal Life Church. But it was interesting. I was perusing the other day a website, and it was put together by a young couple, friends of the family. We're invited to go to their wedding later this summer. And I was actually just checking it because I wanted to see what the proper attire was. I only own one suit. I want to make sure it's appropriate. And but while I was there, I decided, I'll check out their registry. This will really impress Mrs. Content Guy. What are the odds I would look at the registry before her? Well, it ends up, I was just totally blown away by this. That one of the places they're registered is REI. REI? Really? I mean, you give them a Yeti as a wedding present? How does this work? And I told Mrs. Content Guy this, and frankly, it took some convincing. She thought I was maybe hallucinating or something like that. But what was interesting about this, a couple of days later, there was a couple of stories in the Washington Post about weddings. And one of the stories was about how the fact that young people who are getting married are asking for different kinds of things when they're getting registered. It used to be housewares and china and flatware and, bedding and stuff like that. And now they're asking for things like, TSA pre-check. Can you get me TSA pre-check? I'd love tickets to Harry Potter World, snorkeling lessons, stuff like that. And they're, those are all kind of experiential. And the other thing is they're asking for things that are really, really practical. Things like fertility treatments or money they can put towards college loans or maybe towards the down payment on a house. And I just thought this was totally fascinating. Now, some of it is because they're more focused on experiences and less focused on getting things. And some of it is because, well, frankly, a lot of them have been living together. And, they don't need flatware. They don't need bedding. They've already got it. By the way, I'd like to point out, I was a man ahead of his time. Because 36 years ago when we got married, I said, what do we need with flatware and fancy dishes? We're never going to use them. We're going to stick them in a closet. And we're going to use them once every 3 or 4 years, if then. And I was totally right on that one. The other interesting thing, there was another story in the Post about how wedding cakes are going away. Like a third of all weddings in this country, they don't have cakes at the weddings. They have other stuff. They have, cobbler carts and cookie bars and macaroon displays and fruit pies and waffle stations. They don't want cake, so they're not going to have cake. And this isn't even driven by cost. This is the fact that these young people, they want what they want, they like what they like, and why should they have something at their weddings they don't want and they don't like? I think this makes perfect sense to me. It also teaches us a larger lesson about young people. I think a lot of retailers and manufacturers think, well, young people, there are some differences, but eventually they're really going to be like their parents. They're a lot more like their parents than they would like to think. I think they have that all wrong. I think they're a lot less like us than we'd like to believe. And I think that retailers and manufacturers that don't understand that they have different priorities and different interests, I think they're making a serious mistake and put themselves at risk of being completely irrelevant to what they need and want. They have to think about what these people really want, what they really, really need. Businesses that are not in touch with young people are going to end up finding themselves selling flatware, trying to sell flatware to people who want TSA pre-check, or trying to sell cake to people who want pies. That's no way to do business. And by the way, about the pie thing, I'm totally on board because, as Mrs. Content Guy will tell you, the fastest way to my heart is through my stomach. And a key lime pie is totally the way to go. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.